The doctors have diagnosed me with schizophrenia.
I would be very anxious, very scared, no confidence.
And I could hear like voices in my head. I was thinking like people on the road were talking about me.
I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder and endogenous depression.
I was suffering from bipolar, commonly known as manic depressive psychosis.
The World Health Organization has warned that many countries will not be able to cope with the predicted boom in mental illness. We all fall ill from time to time. Then we recover with medication, the care of our families, and all encouragement from friends, sending cards and flowers. But why does everyone become silent when our minds fall ill? Why do we feel ashamed? Then we are all alone. Why does no one say hello? My cameraman and I traveled to Bangalore to explore the unknown. I am a medico, but for the first time, I would be exploring a new dimension of treatment of mental illness, the humane dimension. 48 hours later, we were in blue chip Bangalore, now Bengaluru. But we still had a small journey to make to a beautiful place called Humlog. Here, life seemed to find its own pace. The place where we were to stay, there I saw a tall shady tree that bore red berries. I was fascinated. I had never seen a tree like this one with such shiny red berries. They tasted great. I was already discovering something new, the taste of berries. This is Athma, Shakti, Vidalaya, a home away from home for mentally ill that treated mental illness outside a formal hospital setting. The strength, openness, and magnificence of the building that houses ASV itself assures the strength and openness of the ideology on which it is founded. We decided to get to know everyone first, the staff, the patients. Oops, did I say patients? Well, here they are called kids. On the first day, we realized that Atma Shakti Vidyalaya was a therapeutic community, and like any other community, it took special care of its kids. How this community functions and how it helps in treating its kids is what we'll see in the next few days. In 1979, Father Hank Nunn, along with like-minded counselors, psychotherapists, and the parents of mentally ill, founded this residential community. They were guided by Jackie Schiff, an American social worker who had popularized the reparenting technique to cure troubled minds.
People expect the government to do it all without taking the initiative, private initiative to do something. That's one big thing, I think, yeah. Jackie had her place in California called a cathexis school. Cathexis, it was a drop-in center, a daycare center. Cathexis comes from the Greek word catharsis. So you go to a Hindi movie, you get all worked up, blah, 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 and then you have a catharsis. All the bad feelings go, okay? It's from the Greek tragedies, right? Okay? So, well, how do I translate cathexis? Okay. All right. Spirit and power of changing what I'm feeling, changing what I'm thinking, changing my kind of spirit. The school of that, Vidalaya. So, Atma Shakti, that's it. Yeah.
This is so true. What could be a better name for such a home? Atma means spirit, Shakti, power. Every kid here would be taught to form meaningful relationships and take responsibility for themselves, which is the basis of mental health. The therapeutic community offers the mentally ill a home safe from distress, criticism, discrimination, or judgment.
So I was not able to decide and not able to what to do. I was so confused. So what to do? Then with anger, I banged my head on wall.
Involving the kids in group activities helps them to have a living relationship. They relearn the ability to relate to the world they live in.
Supreme Court ordered the Human Rights Commission to carry out a survey. The report is so pathetic that it's not worth reading. In our country, we got old age homes, we got home for blind, we got home for everyone, even for animals. But we have got no homes for such category.
A disturbance in our biochemical, genetic, or physiological structure, and sometimes even a combination of all three, can cause us to dysfunction in behavior and thinking. The person then can be diagnosed under various classifications like depression, schizophrenia, autism, schizoaffective disorder, bipolar disorder, and other personality disorders. With any of these, the person loses control over the emotion and behaves differently.
And never in my life had gone so down. Like, so they gave me ECT.
He was seen by 5 psychiatrists and each one of them had put him on some tablets, and when he did not respond, the dosage of tablets were doubled, tripled, and he didn't get any benefit.
Then first time we came to Nimans, there they gave him lot of medicines that made him behave more worse.
The psychotropic medicines alleviate only the symptoms. What about pulling out the illness from its roots? Father Hank prefers kids having no psychotropic medicines, since for the individual the first prescription of medicines at the age 16 or 17 has become a lifelong frustrating adjunct to personal life.
Pathology should not be suppressed, it should be brought out. That is very important. If it is suppressed, yes, we can manage them, but the illness will never be cured. And we have to have a safe, containing environment for them to express it.
So how is it at ASV? How does it manage the mental illness of its kids? At Athma Shakti Vidalaya, the cure I learned was a holistic integration of mind-body techniques. A big emphasis was on reparenting and community living. In reparenting, a trained parent figure helps the kids let go of childhood traumas and become aware of and change their negative limiting beliefs and attitudes so as to develop healthy interpersonal relationships. The integrated approach of treatment uses yoga, NLP, transactional analysis, regressive therapy, psychosocial exercise, and also art therapy. So what is a day like in the life of a therapeutic community? At 7 a.m. the day begins with yoga. At 8:30 is the first meal of the day. At 9:30, the kids clean the community house. Their duties are rotated and they have full responsibility.
Everything has a reason why the kids have to clean up the house, why the kids have to do the dishwashing. It takes care of leadership qualities, cooperation, all the things that they teach in MBA has been incorporated here.
At 11, everyone gathers for the daily meeting. Here the day's activities are planned and the general announcements are made. After a tea break, the kids go into therapy.
You have to be willing to give yourself 24 hours a day, or be ready to give yourself that, and be ready to touch them. See, there's no touch. That's what they need. Just the touch, the stroking, the holding. Oh no, that calms them down, and certainly then they begin to think.
It's 1 p.m. Something smells good. It's coming from the kitchen. It's lunchtime. The kids sit down to a relaxed hot meal. Lunch is a balanced diet and the menu varies from day to day. Though the medication is kept to a minimum, it's made sure it's given to those who essentially require it. 2:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. is unstructured. Kids may meet the staff, discuss individual problems in small groups, get a comforting dose of stroking and holding. Others go for walks, practice music, dancing and other hobbies.
talking will allow certain thoughts to come out. Yeah. And so writing will allow certain thoughts to come out. So maybe this will allow certain other thoughts to come out. And images are very powerful. It's another tool of expression.
For half an hour in the evening, they practice cyclic yoga that alternatively stimulates and relaxes. Seven is the time for dinner, and after that, the kids watch TV or play indoor games. 10 p.m. It's lights out. This schedule is sometimes broken by small adventures like a visit to the park or a lively game of football.
A relationship, that is mainly, if you have good relationship, you are very interested to make the friends with him, and definitely you will start building not only one side, it's your side also. Definitely. Yeah, you have to put effort because they won't be coming to see you. True. You have to go to them, and then one day it will click. This person, why is so much interested in me? What I have? Something will be there thinking. Then definitely it will be. You can achieve anything from them.
I have begun to realize that the structured life and discipline of the community is a cure in itself. But how does this all heal a mentally ill person? In holistic psychotherapy, rehabilitation is the key. The kids must be taught to form and sustain meaningful relationships. This is fostered by the close contact of an active community life. In the therapeutic community, the kids practice adjusting and opening up with others. They learn to make a place for themselves in the community and the value of bonding to others. Through the bonding with the therapist, the kids find the safety and comfort to resolve the confining childhood traumas. They are then open to adopt new positive beliefs and attitudes.
Yeah, a lot of those values, a lot of those ideas that they've gained, the kids over here that they've gained from their childhood, are mixed up, mixed messages. For instance, let's say they've learned, many of them have learned to show anger is bad. Anger is a bad feeling. Now, nobody has taught them this as such, but they've picked it up from the environment somewhere that anger is bad. So they don't show anger. And later in life, they get depressed. So here they learn that all feelings are good, but how to show each feeling, ways to show each of these feelings, the different feelings. So that's what we mean by reparenting, relearning what you've already learned.
The kids realize that they are free to move away from contaminating beliefs about themselves, others, and the world in which they live.
Like here they really teach us a lot, like how to overcome the illness and how I can change my beliefs, how I can change my attitudes. Because if I change my beliefs inside, that's how like I will get well and go. Because ultimately it is just me. It is not anybody else. Like I have to take responsibility for myself. That's what ASV has taught me.
In this way, the individual comes to an understanding of their personalities and discover that they do have choices and the freedom to make changes within themselves. What do outsiders think about this methodology at ASV? I asked some visitors.
Use the method of reparenting, which really works with the structure of what has happened within the person, and not just working at the symptoms or not just trying to put things down, but to really see what has gone wrong in their lives. What I'm also impressed with is the level of awareness of the kids. Very often the kids are aware as to what is happening with them, why are they here for, which is very different from what I have seen elsewhere.
Luckily, it was an annual get-together of the parents at ASV during our stay, so we got to interact with some of the parents.
And the best thing is this is the place where he wants to be. There's never a place been, so far, where he was comfortable, not even home. So this is a place where he's started feeling comfortable and he's taken the people on as his own parents. To us, as long as Akhil is happy, it doesn't really matter who is giving him the benefit. We don't want to feel that we have to give him all the benefit that he needs in life, as long as he's getting the benefit.
ASV, it is something like my temple for me, for our family. I expect that we can take him back within a short period.
About 75% of the kids who come to ASV return to careers and studies, while others have been able to rejoin their families.
Yeah, I mean, I've made my life because of ASV. I owe my life to ASV.
One thing, I accepted my illness like any other illness, bipolar. Now I am able to speak freely with the people. I don't hide anymore my mental illness that I had. And I am able to motivate people, help out people, give strength to them, to spiritual help. I am able to speak positively about my illness I had. It is like any other illness.
The government offers very few financial schemes to support the mentally ill. The work of the community is financed partly from fees and donations and partly from corporate workshops.
Nobody wants to give money for mental illness, really, because they don't believe you can do anything for them, right? Leave them. I mean, don't try and work with them. Don't try and get them well. Right?
But ASV continues efforts to promote its methodology. A therapeutic community has begun functioning in Valsad, Gujarat, and a center is being planned in the vicinity of Chandigarh.
We have been making efforts to have an integrated mental health setup around Chandigarh, so that where we can treat people, we can have a long care home, we can look after retarded children, and also Punjab has got a very serious problem of drug addiction. Well, hopefully the society will play up, because it is a duty of the government, society and the corporate sector.
It was an eye-opener for me to see the dedicated staff, some of whom have been working for over 15 years, earning a nominal salary.
I think it is because I get so much from them. It's not just me giving and giving. I get a lot of energy recharged, batteries recharged by the kids.
We've grown as much as the kids have grown as people. We've become much more efficient human beings. We learn a lot from each of the kids.
Many people have come and they have gone, and they have been able to go and integrate back into society. The joy of seeing them living normally outside, happy with themselves.
The success of this project is important to enable people caught in debilitating mental illness to discover their power in getting well and moving on to find their rightful place in the enlightened society.
We should not look down on somebody who's mentally ill. Anybody can come out of the mentally, but they need to be accepted and appreciated and made responsible for their thinking and feeling. Anybody can be made responsible for their thinking and their feelings.
Mental illness can be treated like any other physical illness, okay? If they get enough optimum medication and enough counseling and in a supportive environment, it's possible, and they can be normal like anybody else.
Problems mean solutions. The more complicated the problems are, the more exciting the solutions are. So you focus on the solution, then you will not focus on the problem as much.
As we packed our cameras and gathered for a group photograph, I was sure I'd be missing this place for a long time to come. The place which could return a lost smile on some faces, filled colors into lives of the others, help people discover themselves and let their innermost fears vanish. A place where warmth is the way to be, the place where I feel. I learned far more about humane aspects of mental illness than I probably did at medical school. Also, it has been a self-discovery about Athma and the Shakti. The discovery of a new flavor in life, the taste of berry. It is said the whole world conspires in helping what a determined mind sets out to accomplish. The Atma Shakti Vidalaya is determined.